oh, what I'm dealing with is like way less than what they're dealing with. So I'm also going to update you on my ulcerative colitis journey, right? I want to be very transparent. And I had already said that I was diagnosed in 2017. It was really tough to figure everything out, getting used to it. So since 2017, I've been on this medicine called mesalamine, which is like an anti-inflammatory specific for your colon. And the next form of treatment is what's considered biologics, which is like it blocks like receptors on your cells. So basically your cells don't attack themselves. Basically what's happening is that in ulcerative colitis, your cells attack themselves in your gut as though they're foreign, even though they're not. And so like the basic standard treatment is mesalamine, or I think ASA is called, I don't know. But it's anti-inflammatory specific for your gut. And then if that doesn't work, you advance into what's considered biologics, which is an inhibitor for cells to eat themselves. So it prevents them from eating themselves, right? So that's the next form of treatment. And so we've just been trying to stay on the mesalamine, just the anti-inflammatory. And the reason being is that like biologics, they're fairly safe. They have a good safety profile, but it's a lifelong medicine. It's one that if you stop taking, bad things happen. And so they're not sure how to, or if they can wean you off of it at this point. And so I just wanted to do it the most basic way first and see how it went, so that maybe in the future I don't have to take anything for my ulcerative colitis. And so my experience since 2017 is that I experience a flare maybe twice a year. And the way that I treat that once I'm in the flare is with prednisone, which is like a steroid that calms your nervous system down. So it's similar, right? Not similar. It makes it so that your cells don't attack yourself, autoimmune disease. And so what would happen is that I'd be fine for 6 months. I'd go into a flare. I'd take this prednisone for a month and a half. I'd get off of it. I'd be fine. So now I'm just with the mesalamine, the anti-inflammatory. And then inevitably, like 6 months later, I'd go into another flare. Previously, I attributed it to getting too comfortable with my regimen and routine. And, you know, that leading to like maybe having a little bit too much of bad stuff, right? I think the goal with ulcerative colitis and gut health problems is to have more good bacteria than bad bacteria. That's how you get into like bad situations, is you let your bad bacteria take control. So my whole goal is always have more good bacteria. But when you get comfortable, you're doing really well for 3 months now, 4 months now, and it's Thanksgiving. And so you go in on food and like, you know, you come out of Christmas time and you don't feel so good. You've been partying from Thanksgiving to Christmas to New Year, and now you're like, oh shit, I don't feel well, and now it's too late. And so I say all that to say, like, I attributed the flares to just, you know, getting too comfortable and getting out of a healthy routine. Like I said, it's been like that since 2017, on and off, and really dealing with the flares. They have you out for, like I said, like a month and a half, which is like a big deal, you know, like that's 3 months out of the year that you feel shitty. Not even feel shitty, you like literally or you like can't leave the house. So, you know, after this most recent flare that I had, I just stopped to take time to be like, okay, part of it is like, you know, being way too headstrong and just not wanting to accept what reality is telling me. And reality is telling me that I need to advance into biologics as much as I don't want to. And as much as I want to, right, I take such pride in being like, oh, you know, like the gut health guy, like I have to be perfect in gut health or else who's going to want to listen to me? And that's, I don't think that's the case. I don't believe that, but for whatever reason, I was telling myself that. And if I had a friend in my position, I wouldn't advise him to do what I was doing. And so I'm going to be my friend to myself. And I had a call with UCSF not too long ago, and they were like, yeah, let's do it. They've been trying to get me on it. And again, ignorantly or like whatever you want to say, I've been like, no, that's not it yet. We don't need to do that yet. And it's time. And so I had a good call with them. I'm going to wait for insurance to clear it. And then I'm going to go into UCSF and get my first biologic infusion. That's another thing with them. They have to be infusion. So IV, get a liquid drip every 8 weeks. So that's going to be like 6 times a year, which kind of is a lot. Like that sucks. But you know what? There's things that suck way worse than that. And I'm not looking for like pity or sympathy or anything. Actually, when I was first diagnosed, I was like so anemic. I was just, things happen quickly. And I told you, like, I don't necessarily like to give up or give in. And so initially I was, when I didn't know what was happening yet, I was just ignoring a lot of very important signs. And so I ended up being very anemic and had to get iron infusions and, again, IV, go into the facility. And when I looked around me, there were people there receiving like treatments for like cancers and stuff. And it was like, oh, what I'm dealing with is like way less than what they're dealing with. And so it gives you strength. It's like, I can shut up and stop complaining and go do this 6 times a year, because I know that their regimen is like every other week, like all day. You know, sometimes they wear cold caps so they don't have to lose their hair. And like, there's just some like, yeah, I just stop complaining. So that's my journey. You know, I want to provide this information because if there's someone else in my position, and maybe you're the 2017 me and you're not sure what's happening, like, let's figure it out together, because you don't have to go through what I went through because I went through it. And so you don't have to.